Hello friends, so I have already created this project, so I am explaining this project to one by one. So first I have created a read PDF sequence. Under this sequence I have take a assign variable. Why? So let me comes with the flow. First we have a PDF, and we want to extract the data from this PDF. So what we need to do? We need to take the path. First we need to take the path. After that, once we get the PDF, then we have to read the PDF. So for the similar, we are created a assign variable. In this assign variable, using the dictionary dot get files and input is our folder name. So if I go to this project, under this project I have an input folder. Under this input folder I have a December underscore invoice. So all the file have means in this directory, whatever the files have, we got this file under the all files variable. So we take a for each loop. Under this for each loop we are traversing for all files. For example, if all file have 2 or 3 files, so under this for each loop we are moving one by one or trying to read one by one all the PDFs. So it's just for a log message where we are seeing that what is the actual file name, and we create a variable invoice name. Why we are creating in this project? I am just assigning the name for my output file. If I go to the output folder, you see December invoice. So I'm just reading the file name, full file name. So in future I will assign that file name to my output. So read PDF is an activity which is used. If you type read PDF text, just drag and drop and put your PDF file name. So where is my files? Under all files I have for each, and file are pointing to the current file. That's why I have mentioned the current file name is the file, and creating a current date. Why I am creating the current date? Just for the naming convention for my output file, like this. December underscore invoice is my file name, invoice name, and then underscore PDF 23rd May 2020, and the second according to this. I'm just creating a variable. So under this read file I have PDF text, and I got a write text activity. Under this write text activity I have just mentioned the name PDF text, which is the output of read PDF text file. So I got the response. If you see this expression, so what I'm doing, under this output folder, the invoice name which I received from this file dot substring the file name, and underscore PDF current date dot txt. I'm saving a file with under the output folder with invoice name underscore PDF and current date tag. Let me run this project so you will get some information. I just put down the where I got the invoice name. So just make a debug and run this project. So let me check under this immediate panel what file variable contain. If I write file, so file variable provide me the input underscore December invoice. So under this input folder I have a December invoice PDF. So from this PDF, what we are doing, first find the index of slash, because after this slash we have actual invoice name. So we got the index. File dot index of so I got the 5. Means after this 5 I have December invoice till dot not occurred, means so we got the 5. If I write .pdf provide me the 17. So file dot substring starting index from 5 then 70. If I hit enter this, not 17 because out of the index, if I minus 5, so it will return December invoice but including the slash. So what I am doing here, plus 1 means from the 6th. So I got the December invoice name. Same I am passing in the future purpose, means storing the output file. Let me stop this and open the output file, because after execution this output file will generate. So I am going to the output folder and reading this string file. So that output file contains this kind of information, and now we will retrieve the particular information in a tabular format. How? So if I go to the output folder and click on the Excel sheet, in the Excel sheet is the desired output, but how I retrieve this I will tell you. So these are columns, and under this column we have a output. So I create some rule, and according to that rule, below data is correct but this one is not correct. To handle this situation, we create a action center. So the end user will take an action on this. If he or she feel that this record is not correct, then he or she would be able to take an appropriate action on that. So I'm closing this, and if I go to my workflow, then what I am doing in next, so I'm extracting the consignment details. So we have a 2 workflow, and why 2 workflow? Because if you see that Excel which is downloaded, so we have 2 sheet. Under that 2 sheet we are reading the data. So, and let me open the string as well. So our first task is read the string until content total has not occurred. So how I handle this? Let me open workflow, open this particular workflow where we are handling the consignment details. So in this workflow, if I go to the import argument, what I am passing, strn, a string or a file name which we extract from the file variable, what is the strn? Strn is the PDF tags which we received read PDF activity, means the old text which we retrieved from the read PDF text activity. If I open this, under this I use the invoke code activity, and invoke code activity is for VB.NET code. Invoke code, just drag and drop here, and what kind of a code you have, so you can write there. So I'm just deleting it, and if I open this code, so there is numbers of line and the code. Let me explain you, give some information about the code. For that, means how I write the code. First I have create a VB.NET window form application. So this is for my string 1. If I try to read this string, so first I have provided the path of my string, but in the UiPath I am just passing this string after reading the PDF, but because I have to write the code, that's why I write this. First read the PDF text, then first I am creating the columns of that particular string, and this I is means we are separating the column with the help of this pi. In my first string, str it out is the main string which we use to generate the table. So first, when the code is run, let me put a break and try to run. Why I use this method? Because when I try to read this PDF from the any other method like PDF extractor or OCR activity, that will not work for me, because I really don't require like lots of information from that PDF. So that's why I have write my own code. Okay, this is under this not visible. Let me copy the path. So page 2 is my starting point. Let me run again. Copy as a path. Pasted. If I run this, click on the string 1 button, and if I click on the continue, so under this str out, you see that I have created a first row that would be the column for my string, and then I have created a temporary string. Under this temporary string, my means the main string is strn. Strn have, you see, the page 2 and lots of detail. So I'm giving a command like starting index contain the page 2 and till content total or page 2, the length of means the index of page 2 which return -2, means a small portion of that particular string. So if I run now, strtemp has page 2 and before the content total. Now my requirement is that I have to read all these string and which start from the 23rd of December, means a first 2 character are the numeric and last 3 are the character. Total 5 characters should be there, and that I need to consider. Rest of that means a part of this string like ex printing, this should not be considerable. This should not be a part of my final output. That's why I have write my own code. In this code, what I am doing, there are lots of variables, so I'm not giving one by one. Just I have split my string in the array form, and I create a regex, regular expression. In this expression, what I'm first 2 characters start from 0 to 9 and last 3 characters A to Z. If that present in particular string, that it need to be processed, otherwise not. So if need to be processed equal to 2, then we comes to this code, otherwise not. So if I click and if I check my line, the line contain the 23 December PPP, it means it need to be considerable, so need to process. If need to process equal to 2, then go to the further line. So what I'm doing, like I have create further more rule, like right now IDX is tracking. For just an example, if I open my line, if you see this string, this string third character should be a numeric, but in some cases that information is missed. So for that information, I have need to track that information. I have created some more rule in that code. So what I am doing, so it's 3 4 because I know up to 3 what information I am getting from this string. So I write IDX 0 1 2 3. So before IDX, I'm just checking if IDX less than 0, then what the code will do, just str out. Under this str out, just mention 23rd December, then pi. After that, consignment reference number, then sender reference number. Similarly, rest of the information it will maintain. So if I go to like need process 2, and what is my line, the line is 19 December, and what happened, so and this information start with the 3 star is the something information required for me as a address name. For that, I have write my own code. In that code, what I write here, if the line substring contain 3 star, then it's my address zone, and this address zone I have put after my line. So right now I'm getting this line but without any address zone. So when I run this, now the line have address zone. So I have used 2 logic for there. What if the string is like for 0 index, IDX 0, then I make pi. If again comes, then pi. After that means if you must see my code, if IDX less than 0, then repeat the same time, else what happened? So means I recognize this. After this I'm getting a string. For that string what I'm doing, I'm putting underscore till I'm not getting any integer. If I get integer, then first I put pi, then 2, then repeat my similar task. So if I run this code till the end, so you got the information like 19 December. So means this information is a whole word. So how to I track this? Until I'm not getting a numeric, till that time it will consider that word is a part of fourth string, fourth word. So similarly I'm doing the same stuff for my all string. Let me stop here. Now if you see, this is the output. Like if you are able to recognize, after 23rd I skip ex printing. So that string which not contain my regex, means first 2 are the integer and last 3 are the character. So that part of means that particular row or particular line would not require for me. So I have just eliminated that by using some rules. So after reading this, what my code are doing, so this invoke code activity will give me the output in terms of argument. So I have 2 arguments for there. str in is the string and the result is data result. So after that data result, I have used the generate data table activity, and output of this invoke activity work as a input for my generate data table data result, and output is dt underscore result. So under this dt underscore result, I have created another column, invoice name, to track which invoice is uploaded. Then I have created a do while activity. Under this do while activity, what I am doing, first right now for just an example, I have suppose 16 record. So I need to loop out every record one by one, and because I have put in place of space underscore, like you see James underscore Elton 8 might, so I have to remove these things. Similarly for this tree, to handle this I have write my own logic. So just you can just ignore this, and this is for my specification because and you are learning some stuff, so you can ignore this. And what I am doing with this code, this is this thing you should be remember, like I'm replacing the last column like underscore with space. And if you see my generate data table activity, and if you go to the property, under this property US column separator is my pi. So whenever this activity got the pi in my result, it will consider everything as a column value. So first is my column, and after that the everything is part of that particular column. So this is not I'm using in this code. Some garbage value also contained. After reading my file, then I have write a code, and last I'm just outputting file name to my Excel user sheet 1 detail. If I open that, I got the output in this particular format. So this is the last column which you see. I have added invoice name, a column name to track which invoice is uploaded. And a part of this, I got all the information correctly, but even I have write my own logic, but this information is not correct. To handle this, the user can do two things. Either he or she will check the output and correct on the Excel sheet as well, but for right now I am creating a UiPath Action Center activity to validate and perform the task. So let me close. In next video I will explain after this, like how we are generating activity for that.